say the game is getting old. Monday morning and your coffee's cold. Life is not what you want it to be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A New Direction. I am Jay Izzo, and I'm with you again. It's our special Christmas show. Oh, my gosh. Yay. You may hear her in the background. This is Kim Polland in the background. She's going to be with me today. She is I've already denoted that she is the queen of the top 10 lists. So we're going to have some fun with the queen of top 10 lists. She's also an author, by the way. We'll talk a little bit more about her. She has a great website, kimfnp.com. We're going to talk a little bit about that too, and her overcoming fibromyalgia and how she's dealing with that as well, because she has such an amazing, great attitude, and I'm so excited about doing this interview with her, just because I just wanted to have some fun. And Kim's a lot of fun. She's so positive and has such great positive energy. And everything I've read about her blogs and everything that I've read, it just was something that I felt like I needed to do during this holiday season, where I go so deep in business and we've dealt with so many tough and rough issues, and we will continue to do that. But I wanted to have a lighthearted show. I wanted to have a show where we could just have some fun and we could just chat and enjoy that, and Kim's going to do that today. But before we do that, we do what we do every week, right? We're going to check in with the 4 areas of your life, right? And I want to know where you're at, right? Because it's so important that you do this, not just weekly with me, but I think you should do it every day, where you check in physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually with yourself every day. Where are you at? And then, where are you going? And then how are you going to get there, right? Because the whole goal is that I believe that we are 4-part people. We are physical people. We are mental people. We are emotional people. And we are spiritual people. And so what I see those 4 areas like the 4 legs of a table, right? I put them on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you are a 10, the table's at the right height. If all those areas are a 10 or a 9 or an 8, it's easy to eat off that table because it's even, and it makes it easy to eat. But if, let's say, you're all 3s, well, now your table's so low, you're sitting in a normal chair, it's hard to eat off the plate. If your 4 legs are skewed, let's say you're a 3, a 7, a 4, and then maybe a 1 in an area, well, now you got an uneven table. Well, the plate's going to slide off the table. So that doesn't work. So let's check in. Let's start here physically. On a scale of 1 to 10, everybody. Physically, 1 being miserable, 10 being awful. Where are you at physically? How are you doing physically? Are you eating right? Are you doing the right things? I'm fighting a little bit of a cold here. It's typical. It happens. It's the time of year. But you know what? I still physically feel pretty good. I still feel like I'm probably a good 7.5. I'm not perfect, but I feel pretty good. I'm eating right. I'm maybe not getting into the gym like I want to, but I'm doing some of the right things. Right? The point of this is, physically, is if you're a 4, I'm not trying to get you from a 4 to a 10 today. I want you to get from a 4 to a 5. What do you need to do to change yourself to get to a 4 to a 5 today? Right? Or in the next day, in the next 24 hours, what can you do to change what you're doing physically, right? All right, good. You got that? Okay, there's your physical. Okay, let's go to the mental. What do I mean when I say the mental side of you? What are you filling your mind with, right? Our brain is 2 sides, right? We're creative and we're logical people. And so what are you doing to exercise your brain? And let's be honest. I don't care how old you get, and I don't care where you're at physically. You can always be improving your brain. That is the one thing that we can constantly keep working on. Even when our body, yes, as we age, our body starts to sag and fall apart a little bit. But the truth of the matter is we could constantly mentally be improving. So on that scale, 1 being miserable, 10 being amazing, where are you at mentally? What are you doing? Right? Are you reading good books? Are you reading the right things? Maybe you need to get rid of reading some things. Maybe you got to get rid of watching some things. Maybe you got to stop watching the news because it's depressing you. Right? Maybe you need to do some things to change it up a little bit. All right. How about the 3rd area, emotionally, right? And what do I mean when I say where are we at emotionally on that same scale of 1 to 10, 1 being miserable, 10 being amazing? Well, mostly what I'm asking you is, what is your emotional intelligence, your emotional quotient, meaning how well are you able to control your emotions, right? The one thing I tell people all the time is, you can control your emotions if you really want to. And I give this example to my psychology class quite often. I say to them, you know, somebody can kick me in the shin. I do not have to react emotionally the way you think I react.
Right.
I don't have to be mad at you. I don't have to be, I could cry. I could even laugh. I actually have choices on how I want to respond emotionally to anything, right? People would let their circumstances determine how their emotions are going to be. That's a choice, folks. There's two things I can promise you that you have a choice over, right? It's your attitude and it's your effort. And if you think about that in emotional terms, your emotions affect your attitude. So how well are you able to control your emotions in that scale of 1 to 10 right now? Not only that, emotionally, how well are you able to relate to other people's emotions? Guys, I'm talking to you too. I understand blue is a color, but it also can be the way we feel, okay? We can feel a little blue. Okay, so, but how are you able to relate to other people's emotions? Because that's all part of our emotional intelligence. Okay, so you got those three numbers, right? You got the physical, the mental, emotional. Then finally, the fourth piece. Where are you at spiritually? And you say to me, Jay, what do you mean? I don't believe in spiritual things. Well, the truth is you do. I promise you do. You believe in something, right? And you go, well, I don't believe in God. Okay, all right, listen, this show isn't about trying to convert you to anything. I get it. You don't believe in God. Some people do, though. And so if you do believe in God, and especially this time of year, the Christmas time of year, you know, how is that going for you? But I know some of you believe in goodwill. Some of you believe in karma. Some of you believe that you get your peace from nature or joy or stuff like that. How's that working out for you? Right? Is it really fulfilling you the way it should be fulfilling you? Are you really feeling settled and at peace with that? Right? So I ask those questions because, and be honest with you folks, some people even believe in, they try to say they don't believe in anything, but the truth is you have faith in something. I promise you do. You can't go in this world and not have faith in something. You just can't. You think that that everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen. But the truth is, folks, we don't know what's going to happen in the next moment. So you have to believe that the next moment, even if it's unconscious, you have to believe that the next moment's going to happen. So what gives you that belief to keep going? Right? Because you could say, well, I believe in science. Well, really, science isn't a belief system, right? Because there's so many things we can't explain with science. We can't explain such things. And you go, what are you talking about? Well, we can't explain. Why would somebody that doesn't even know another person be willing to give up their life for that person? You know, why do we love things that we shouldn't even love? Science can't explain that. There's so many things that science and logic can't explain. And those are the spiritual things and that settle us and give us peace and give us hope. And so I ask you to check into that area, because it's as important an area as the other three areas of your life. So as you're looking at those areas, where are you at? All right. And how are you going to get better? And what can you do today to do those 4 areas? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I have got just the honor and the privilege to talk to a fabulous young lady by the name of Kim Polland. And she's a registered nurse. She's author of a novel, her first novel, as a matter of fact, entitled I Never Thought It Could Have Happened, Book 1, The Sisterhood. And Kim obtained her Bachelor's of Science in Nursing from St. John Fisher College in Rochester, New York. Her medical background was drawn to the fore when she found herself stricken with health issues, and in this particular case, fibromyalgia. And she decided to write, putting her thoughts onto paper. She moved with her family to Tampa, Florida, where she continued to develop writing as part of her lifestyle change. Kim has since pushed through her illness and several hurdles to publish her first novel that I talked about, and I Never Thought It Could Have Happened, Book 1. But she is also the queen of the top 10 lists, and she loves doing top 10 lists. And I am so pleased to have her, and she's being brought to us today, again, by our sponsor, Inline Business Brokers and Advisors. And folks, if you are someone who owns a business, at some point you're gonna probably need the services of an experienced business broker. So selling your business can be a big decision. So make sure you build your deal team, starting with the experts at Inline Business Brokers and Advisors. You can learn more online at inline.com. That's www.enlign.com. Jeff Snell and his fabulous people will certainly help you in helping you sell your business and do it with the utmost confidentiality. And so now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kim Polland to A New Direction. Kim, welcome to A New Direction.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So, Kim, I know that you're a registered nurse. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
And which is awesome. I love nurses. Having had several surgeries, they have always been, everything from a total knee replacement to ripping all the rotator cuffs off my shoulders and having to go through hospitalization.
Yes, awful.
And having to do that, but they were always there caring. And so I have a special place in my heart for nurses, and I was so fortunate and to be able to teach nursing students as they were preparing as well at some private universities and colleges, through things such as lifespan psychology and brain anatomy and function, some of those things as well that I was teaching nursing students. And so I really do have a special place in my heart for nursing students. But what intrigued me so much was your top 10 lists. And and before we get into some of these fun, holiday top 10 lists, I want to talk about your fibromyalgia, because I don't think people know the disease well, and I don't think they
don't,
and I don't think they understand it. So, before we get into the top 10 list, help people kind of walk us through what you have to deal with in terms of fibromyalgia.
Okay, so when I first found out about it a couple of years ago, it hasn't been that long, about 2012, when I found out about it. For me, I completely didn't know that much about it myself because, I had been going on for years and years with a lot of pain in my body. But when I was told that I had it, then I started doing more and more research about it. And then that's when I found out that it's an active nerves in the body that can cause pain, more pain than a usual person. And so that was what I was having all the time, just constant pain in the body, like, at rest. And then with that pain, I was also having numbness, tingling, and then they would try different medications. And some of the medications would have side effects. And some of the side effects that I would have, not necessarily that, everyone would have, because everyone is different. But with me, I would have memory loss, and I would be falling, things of that nature. So I would have different things going on with me. So it was something to, learn about, so I would know what to expect and things, to learn, to what to look for. And my husband and my family, they were very supportive, because it would be sometimes I would be driving on the expressway and I wouldn't even remember where I would be going. I would have to pull over and ask my husband for directions on like how to get home or how to get where I was going, because I got to the point where my memory was it was not where it was supposed to be. And I would be in so much pain at work that I would just have to come home, and I couldn't do nursing anymore. It was, very debilitating. It's something that they are still doing studies on to try to learn more and more about the disease, because when they first start noticing more and more Americans start to have fibromyalgia, they started studying more and more about it. But for each and every person, it's different. The symptoms are different, but they do have classical symptoms of how they diagnose you. But for me, it was I went through a lot, but my family was very supportive of me while I went through what I was going through with the everyday pain. And when I say everyday pain, I mean pain on a scale level of almost 10, where I would end up in the hospital because of so much pain and things of that nature. So, and then I would find out at a young age of, I was like in my 20s, and I had a small hip fracture, and the doctor would think, oh, how did you get that? Did your husband hit you or something of that nature? I was like, no, I was falling and, and probably maybe got it from, maybe from that, but no, it wasn't that. It was like the calcification of the bones or where, something had happened to me. And I was like, well, that's been there for a while. So I wouldn't know where bumps and bruises and things would come from. But I know that it was a lot of pain and no one knew what kind of pain that I was in. Just only I knew what the type of pain that I was in. So it's a very debilitating disease if you're trying to work and you're trying to actually deal, because sometimes you really can't get into the bed. You really can't get out of bed every day. So.
Yeah, so one of the things, in my study, I was doing some studies of fibromyalgia and, trying to learn about it. And first of all, it's a much more prevalent disease than what we recognize. We talk about so many other things. We don't talk about fibromyalgia that much. You see it occasionally on a commercial here or there where there's some new medication or something that they're putting out for it. But I do know that it's kind of a 6-to-2 ratio women to men. So basically, women get it, and it could happen. It can come on in any age. By the way, it doesn't have to be something that you get when you're older or get when you're younger. It could happen in any time, and we really don't know a lot about the onset or whys very much about it. But we do know that people will wake up with incredible stiffness sometimes, but it's the overall pain that the nerves are just firing at such a high level that is just a crazy amount of pain. And one of the things that really intrigued me about your story was that you have such an amazing positive attitude despite living with this disease. So how did you get this attitude? Because a lot of people, sadly, I've seen people who go through whatever their circumstances are, and I'm not trying to belittle anybody's circumstances here. Please don't. I don't want anybody to hear that.
Right.
But I know that you have to deal with something. How do you maintain your positive attitude as you're dealing with this disease?
Well, sometimes for me, when it first began, it was really hard because you can go into depression, and then but after that, you lift above that, because I call on a higher person. I call on God to bring me through. I'm very spiritual. My family is very spiritual, and we believe that God, He's a healer. He can heal. He can heal any disease, anything. His will be done. I mean, he can let the blind see. You know what I mean? He can cure cancer. Sure. He can do whatever. So knowing that, you can just, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you wake up every morning, that's a blessing for us. Sure. So for me, I just thank God I'm still here, because at this age right now, the age that I am, I have my family, I have grandchildren now, even though I'm, and so I just thank God for it. And I just live my life and just be happy, because there's so many people that's not here. There's this, and I'm just a bubbly person, because if you cry alone. If you laugh, the world laughs with you. So it's just my choice to be happy. It's just my choice.
See, I love that.
God gives us God. He's not a God of fear. So that's my choice, to be happy.
See, I don't think people understand that. I try to explain it in the 4 areas of your life, right? That, really your emotional happiness is a choice, regardless of your circumstances. And I don't think people really wrap their minds around that whatever is happening in your life, no matter how bad things are or can be, you still have a choice on, what your attitude is going to be today.
Right.
And you made that choice, right? I mean,
right.
Admittedly, your faith has clearly been a huge part of that and helps you, but you still make a choice every day. Because I'm going to tell you something. I know the most spiritual people in the world, right? And yet, circumstances can drag them down. And again, I'm not judging them or chastising them for that. But I also
Right.
know that we ultimately have a choice on how I'm going to live today, or I'm going to live this moment. And
Right.
the thing that was so beautiful about the things that I've read from you in terms of your blog and other excerpts that you've done is that it seems to me that every day you make a choice that you're going to be happy and you're going to try to do something good for someone else.
Yes. I try. I try because you never know when your time is up.
Right. Right.
It doesn't take that much to smile. It doesn't take that much to tell someone hello. It doesn't take that much to help someone cross the street or help them with their bag or whatever.
Right.
Life is short. God is love. We should be love. He wants us to show that love.
Right.
And so I teach that to my kids. My husband teaches that to the kids. We're going to teach that to our grandkids. And when they're older, they're babies now. But it doesn't take that much.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I've said all along that, it really doesn't take much to inspire other people. I'm really big as a speaker and an author and as a consultant. I am really, really big on it doesn't take much to inspire others. It's amazing during this holiday season how we're supposed to be so happy and joyous, and we get so caught up into the wrappings and the presents and the getting from here to there and family and all this type of the things that we do that we feel stressed, and that's not the point of this, of what we're supposed to do. And so sometimes what happens is we're so caught up in what the next thing we're going to do is we forget that there are people who are serving us, as we go through these stores and shopping malls or wherever we're shopping, that that they're working. And I don't know how somebody has treated that person today or what their circumstances are. And I try to be so conscious, and I think this is what you're saying. I try to be so conscious of smiling, engaging, being patient. I think that's the biggest one, right? Is to be patient.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head. Being patient. I couldn't have said it better myself. I was in the store and this lady behind me, she was just like, I can't be patient. And I'm like, oh my God, you're just in the wrong store. I mean, it was just a grocery line. And I just told her, I said, I will pray for you. Because that's the best thing that you can tell a person. I will pray for you. I told her, I said, I will pray for God to give you some patience. Because you're just in a grocery store and you have no patience. I would hate to see you in a car and you have no patience.
Oh,
it's just, it's mind blowing.
Well,
like you say, people, it's just, I don't understand.
Well, it's because I think, as people are watching and listening to the show, because actually we're on Facebook Live, and I could see that Ben Brown, who is an author of a fabulous book that I interviewed here just recently, and Joelle Fitz is with us. Brian Peterson has joined us as well, and some other folks. And of course, this is going to be a podcast later at the Christmas show. So actually, these people are watching a live taping of the show, which is kind of neat. And I do think that patience is an underutilized word, not just a word, but it is a behavior that we don't utilize very well. And and we can kind of lose our patience. And I mean that in sincerity, that we can kind of lose our patience with other people based on what's going on in our own lives. And when I start thinking about that, I start thinking, well, it's pretty selfish on my part that the way my world is going is your problem, because it's not. It's, what's going on in my world isn't your problem. You're checking out,
Right.
whatever toys or things I'm buying for my friends or whatever, and my bad day isn't your problem. Matter of fact, right? I mean, the truth of the matter is, if I was really getting outside of myself, the truth is, regardless of what my day is, I have a responsibility to try to give you a smile, even if it's a smile or being kind, just simply being kind and patient with you,
Right.
and going on. And trust me, I'm a work in progress, because I'm clearly not there. Although I believe I'm getting better every day at it, so I really do. So one of the things that you do is you do these top 10 lists.
Yes. Yes.
And so let's talk about one of your Christmas top 10 lists. All right.
Okay.
All right. What's the first top 10 list that you have for a Christmas top 10 list?
Okay. So, a top 10 list. The top 10 ways you can get ready for your out of town guests.
Top 10
Okay.
ways. Okay. Okay. Top 10 ways. I'm just going to repeat it. That you could get
Okay.
ready for your out of town guests. And before you go into that, let me just say, we've all had to deal with out of town guests. Sometimes folks, let's be honest, sometimes their family is sometimes of these out of town guests. And the truth is, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So go ahead. So what's number 10 on preparing Christmas, preparing for out of town guests? What's your number 10?
Okay, so number 10 is, okay, so maybe, oh my God. Okay, so I should have did it the other way. Okay, so number 10, you want to create a guest list, know how many people are coming.
Okay.
That's number 10.
Okay, so know how many people. So we should know how many people are coming. I mean, that's good. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes,
Right.
yes. We want to create that guest list, okay?
Okay, and does that mean that we should go? Should we go into that, like, all right, that it should be just more than the names, right? We should kind of know some of their quirks and.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Oh,
we're
okay,
gonna
okay,
get
okay,
sort of there, okay?
I'm impatient. Okay, you're right.
So,
I'm impatient. Okay.
Number nine.
Number nine.
We're going to mark the date of everyone arrival on the calendar or a planner, and we're going to set those reminders on our phone to keep us updated. Because, some people might not arrive on the same date. You know how some people arrive early and some people arrive like midweek or something like that. So you want to set that reminder on your phone to keep you updated, okay?
So this isn't the Christmas vacation list where everybody kind of shows up at the same time like they did in the movie Christmas Vacation. You got people.
Yeah, you got stragglers. We got people showing up like days before Christmas.
All right. That's number 9. All right, number 8.
Okay. So go shopping for inexpensive gifts. So if you're not certain what a family member may like, gift cards are always a great idea.
Oh, great idea, right? The gift card.
Yes.
So do you?
Yes, the gift card.
Do you think that, like, I mean, is gift cards kind of like an easy out?
Yeah, it is. But if you know that person and like, if they like movies and stuff like that, okay, buy them a movie gift card,
Oh, got it.
But yeah, it's an easy out, so you don't mess up anything else, okay?
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, it's an easy out.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Number 7?
Number 7, you want to check with family members of any food allergies, because this can ruin a whole entire family occasion.
Yes, it can. Make sure that nobody's allergic to peanuts, because right? Yeah, right. Or shrimp,
right.
Or you have the shrimp out, right? And I had true.
And somebody's allergic to shellfish. Yeah.
True story. My uncle, God rest him, he was so allergic to shellfish that I mean, he couldn't even smell it, and he would,
oh wow,
yeah, if he smelled it, he would. I mean, he was miserable, and so we would go. Everybody in my family loves seafood, everybody, And my uncle even would go fishing, and I'd go fishing with my uncle in the ocean with my uncle and my grandfather when I was younger. And but they'd go out. My mom would love to go to seafood restaurant. My uncle would stay in the car because there was no way he would walk into. So okay, that's a good one, right? Check your menu. Okay, check your menu. Okay, good for you. All right, check your menu. Okay, number what are we at, 6 here?
6, yes, that's 6. So prepare the room a few days before arrival with a small basket or holiday bag that you have brought while shopping for inexpensive gifts. Have it filled with welcome home leisure items such as furry socks, or if you live in a warm climate, stock up on flip-flops or stainless steel straw bottles, a cozy blanket, a relaxation pillow for the plane ride home. So little things like that for each room, for each guest that when they come. So they have like a little, welcome home holiday basket.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I never, I think we kind of take it for granted that people are going to be well prepared, for our climate.
Yeah.
Because I live in North Carolina, and I think you live in Florida, and I live in North Carolina here, and when sometimes my family has dropped in, and I noticed that they were not prepared because if they come in the summer and they weren't prepared, but in the winter, my climate here can be anything. I can have snow one day and then it's 70 degrees the next. So
right.
Okay, that's great. I like that, having a little bit of a gift basket, kind of little things that make sense for your climate so that they can be comfortable. Okay, I love that. Okay, and by the way, before we get to number five, I need to do this because this is important to the show. I need to tell you that Miss Polland and A New Direction is brought to you by Inline Business Brokers and Advisors. And Inline Business Brokers and Advisors have helped literally thousands of clients in the sale and purchase of businesses. When it's time to sell your business, contact the professionals at Inline Business Brokers and Advisors. You can learn more online at inline.com. That's www.enlign.com. And we are talking with Kim Polland, and she is the queen of the top 10. She is a fighter, not just a fighter and a survivor. She is a perseverant, happy person who lives with fibromyalgia day after day, and she's doing this fun little top 10 list of preparing for your out-of-town guests at Christmas. And so we've gone through the first 10 through 6, and so we're going to do number 5. So what's number 5, Kim, on your list of preparing for out-of-town guests at Christmas?
Okay, so you want to set up each room for each guest with an LED essential oil diffuser. This keeps the room at its zen mood at all times. So say if you got like a little baby or a toddler and you want to like take a time out and you want to relax or even relax yourself, then you have like an oil diffuser in the room and you can choose like a comfortable oil, and it's just like a zen mood, and it's relaxation. So that's always nice to have in each room that you can use for your guests too. So that's pretty nice.
You know what, people, again, I'm as a psychology professional, people underestimate how smells affect us.
Right.
I
love them myself. I love the oil diffusers. Those are so nice.
Yeah, well, but if I tell people, okay, have you ever smelled a rotten egg? What does that do to your sense? Right? I mean, it doesn't take long. You kind of go, oh, yeah, that's not good. But then, have you ever smelled people? Okay, people, listen to this. Have you ever had that smell of lemon zest come through the kitchen?
Yes.
Like when I cook, I love cooking, and one of the things I cook is lemon chicken piccata. And when people smell that lemon zest, you can just see the brightness on their face. Right, when they do that, and I think these oil diffusers, and I'm a big fan of them, by the way, and I don't use them nearly enough, but they really do set the mood and they set the tone, and they can be very relaxing. Different odors and smells can be very pleasant to folks to do that. So that makes a lot of sense. That's number 5. Okay, what's number 4?
Okay, make sure you have tried to prepare a little of what everyone likes to eat. So you wouldn't have to leave anyone out of the holiday seasons. So a good way to do this is like if you contact your mom or your grandma or your aunts or uncles, be a little bit nosy when you contact them prior to like the holiday season and find out what little Timothy likes to eat or what, Aunt Jen's like to eat. So you have a little bit of what they like. So if you don't want to prepare it yourself, you can always have it catered in for them for the Christmas dinner, so no one feels left out of something that they like to eat. Because I know with my family, some people don't like to eat this and they don't eat that. So you can always have something catered in for the ones that don't like a particular meal that you eat. So that's a good way to include everyone in for dinner time.
Yeah, a little bit of something, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be the whole meal, and I love that idea.
Right.
I love that idea because I have some folks who are vegan, right? So have a vegan, have a vegetable dish prepared, and then I know that there's the finicky toddler, right? Right, the finicky toddler who just doesn't eat anything but grilled cheese sandwiches. Okay, well then, we'll have grilled cheese, right? We'll make some small little grilled cheese sandwiches for them. I love that idea, and I occasionally cater and have cooked for large parties, and it's a hobby. It's not a business. It's a hobby. So folks, if you're going to contact me to be your caterer, it's a hobby thing. Okay, it's not a profession. But one of the things that I have found is when I found one of the fun things to do is if I am catering for a family and they have small children, is to find a way to get the children involved in that, because they get to create their own food. And so I asked, do your kids eat pizza? I mean, very few kids don't, right? But some kids don't like meat on their pizza. Some kids like to put, vegetables or, and I would ask them, what's their favorite pizza that they like to eat? And some of them would say, oh, they love, pineapple and, whatever on their pizza. So I would make sure I had those items so that they could make their own pizzas, and then I had this big giant pizza peel that we would slide the pizzas in the oven, right? It's big. It was way bigger than it needed to be, but the kids love the giant size the pizza peel. And so we slide them into the oven, and here the kids get to watch. I turn the light on the oven, and they're watching their pizzas bubble and everything. And it just got them so involved, and they created their own food. And I love doing that. I don't know that's necessarily something you could do at Christmas, but I think whenever you can do that type of thing, and I think that's kind of where you're leading here too, is that you're getting them to kind of create their own food, and you're also preparing for all those people. So, all right, that's awesome. Okay, where are we at? What's our next number?
We are on. Let's see.
Number 4 here.
4. Yes.
Okay, what's number 4?
Let's see. Make sure you have games or activities planned for your guests as they will stay with you. This will steer away the boredom. Board games for the little ones, pool, gun range if they're open, because my family, we love to shoot, and cornhole, etc. Because like maybe sometimes they have like an open gun range, like outdoors or something like that. And for the people that love to shoot, they can go to the gun range and then things like that. So yeah, just make sure you have some games or activities planned, the Wii or something like that, or just have some games or activities available for your guests to play.
One of the most old-fashioned things that I still think work, along with that, right? Because I believe that you should have board games and things that are available. I totally agree with that, and because we can only catch up on conversations for so long, right? But one of the activities from my childhood that everybody who would come over still got involved with was putting those 5,000 piece puzzles together.
Yes, I love puzzles.
Right? We had this one table. It was the puzzle table. And the puzzle table had all the pieces scattered out, right? And, we were building the outside first, right? And you're trying to fill in. And it's amazing how people will stand around that table and pick up a piece of a puzzle, right? And put it in. And they'll do it day after day, by the way.
Right.
Right? Because they'll do it. But I think that's so, have activities planned, right? And I love the idea, yeah, you could do. I have a friend who loves to go skeet shooting, and so he has skeet shooting, and even if you don't know how to skeet shoot, and it's kind of a fun thing to do, it can be a really fun thing to do, and so he would do that. And then some folks, like you said, cornhole, if you have the weather to do it, cornhole is a really fun way to spend some time and make a little competition. I would even say, maybe think about having a couple prizes for the cornhole champion of the week or something like that. But yeah, I love that. That's great. Have your activities planned. Okay, that's number 4. And we're talking to Kim Polland, by the way. She is just absolutely has the best attitude in the world. She lives with fibromyalgia. She is the queen of the top 10 list. She's also an author. She's, matter of fact, writing a second book and based on her first novel. And she is working on trying to turn her first novel into a movie as well. And by the way, if you want to find what Kim's writing about, because she writes about so many different things as part of, giving back to people, you can go to kimfnp.com. That's kimfnp.com. The name of her blog is called A New Day with Fibromyalgia with Kim Polland. And it's just a fabulous read for people who want to do that. And we're talking with her, because she's the queen of top 10s, we're talking about how to prepare for out-of-town guests at around Christmas time. And so we've got 3 left. So what's number 3 on the list, Kim?
Actually, we only got 2 left.
Oh, okay. I thought we did number 4. Okay. All right. What do we have? What's number 2?
So make sure every guest room and bathroom is prepared for guests. So that means toilet paper, stock up on that, shower gel, deodorant, clean sheets on the bed, vacuum, make sure it's dusted, space in the closet and the drawers for their clothing, and empty the trash cans, etc. Because you never know when the guests come, you never know if they might have shower gel or deodorants and things like that. So make sure that you have things like that on hand for them. So you want to make sure that that guest room and that bathroom is prepared for the guests.
Yeah, really, you know what? How smart is that? Right, because nobody thinks about somebody's going to forget a toothbrush, somebody's going to forget their
That's right.
their shampoo or their hair conditioner or some deodorant. And I love what you said. We never talk about it, but can you ever have too much toilet paper in the house when you have guests?
No, you cannot, sir. That's why I have a stockpile. So no, you cannot.
So basically what she's saying, and they're not a sponsor of the show, but basically get to Costco and get yourself a pallet of toilet paper. Get yourself a pallet of toilet paper and stock up before your guests get there. That's that would be a really good idea. Trust me, because I was
get there quick.
Yeah, I tell people this all the time. People are emotional about toilet paper. And they go, no, I'm not. I go, no, you're really emotional about toilet paper. And they'll say, no, I'm not. I go, yes, you are. Because I said the day that there's no toilet paper, you watch your emotions. Because when you don't have toilet paper, you're emotional about toilet paper. I promise you're emotional about toilet paper when you do it. So it's an emotional thing, folks. I'm just telling you right now. Being without toilet paper can be quite emotional. So stock up on the TP. Yes. So, okay, what's the number 1 on how we prepare for guests at Christmas?
Number 1, enjoy your family like it's your last. You never know when you'll see them again. So cherish that time like it's your last.
What?
And that's my number 1. That's my number 1 thing.
What inhibits us from that? Because sometimes we get so stressed about having guests and family over that we don't enjoy them. Why do you think that is?
Well, okay. So I used to work for this company. I did customer service for this company one time, and this one lady, she was like, she called. She was crying. She was yelling at me, and because her gift that she had ordered for her family member did not come. It will not be coming. I had to unfortunately tell her it would not be there in time for Christmas. This was last Christmas, and I told her, I'm sorry, unfortunately, it will not be, there in time for Christmas. She was yelling and screaming. So I told her, I said, hold on, wait a minute. Because she had told me she had cancer. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said, calm down. In a very stern voice, just like that. I said, what is more important to you? A gift or the time that you're going to be able to spend with that family member? They're not going to care about the gift. They're going to care about the time that you're going to spend with them. They're going to care about the time that you have left here. They're not going to care about the gift.
Right.
And so she started crying, and then we started praying. And of course, it's against rules to pray at my job, of course. Sure. But I do missionary work. I travel to Haiti, and so it's my job as a Christian to pray for people. I mean, I'm going to serve God to the day I die. So if it's my job to pray for people, I'm going to pray for people. So I prayed for her. I prayed for her cancer, for her to be healed, and I prayed for her to not just worry about a gift, for her to enjoy her time with her family and not worry about the gift. And by the time we got done praying, and I prayed for other things too, and for God to comfort her. And by the time we got done praying, she said, you know what? It must have been for God to let me speak to you on the phone tonight, because I feel so much better. I feel that it was meant for you and I to speak on the phone. And, by the time we hung up, she had a whole different attitude. She did not worry about the gift. She was just thinking about spending the time that she has with her family and not worrying about a gift. Sometimes I just think people lose sight, and I think it's just up to us as family members to just pull people back in and just tell them it's okay if you don't have money to buy a gift. It's okay, just long as I spend time with you. Right. Just long as we get together and just laugh and just cook, or just laugh and to just listen to music, or just do whatever family do. Right. Sometimes I just think people just get so caught up and think it's just tradition for us to buy gifts. But we can get just so caught up and just think that the season is just to buy gifts and forget that it's Jesus' birthday. Yeah, but he doesn't want us to stress out and go into debt and for things that we can't afford. He wants us to be open-minded. Right. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Right. If he wants us to get together and just worship him on that day. So many people say it's not his birthday, but still it's a season. Right. We should get together every day, truth be told, every day, and worship him. But in this particular season, though, we should get together with whomever we can, and bring that special time, make it special for people. It's just, that's what we should do.
We the truth is we get so caught up into the gifts, the physical gifts that we give, right. In terms of the material gifts, I should say, not physical, the material gifts that we give. Right. We get so caught up into the materialism of it that we miss the whole point of being together.
Right.
We miss the whole point of finding joy in another, in the people that we have around us. And as you were talking, I was thinking about last October, my uncle passed away that I was talking about, and I spent a few days with family that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I loved my uncle dearly. And sadly, I didn't spend as much time with him as I wish I would have. And I think it's because and I said this at his funeral, you always think you have one more day. You always think that there's just one more day. And we don't think first. It's not our first thought to think, this could be the last day. And I don't want this to sound morbid, because I don't mean it to be morbid. I mean it that it should challenge us to cherish every moment that we have with family or with friends, or even, Kim, you and I are new friends today, right?
Right.
And I'm really cherishing this moment with you. I want you to know I really am, because
Oh,
you
thank you.
you
Me
are
as well.
you are because I as people listen to the show, and Angel is with, I believe it or not, her name is Angel King, right? She's a really close friend. She's joined the show, and as I think about the words that you have just expressed, you know, we need to stop. The chances are, I'm gonna make a really bold statement here. Chances are you could spend less money if you were willing to spend more time,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And I think I think that's a more valuable gift to people
Right.
than anything that you could purchase. And I
Right.
think and I'm glad that's your number one, by the way. I'm glad that's the number one on your list, because
Thank you.
it's really, really a powerful statement of being able to say, yeah, I know we're cooking, and we get stressed out, or the string beans burning, or did the mashed potatoes get a little too soggy, and I put too much milk in them, or I overcooked the turkey, or whatever. You could get all caught up into those things, but at the end of the day, it's about being around the people that you love,
Absolutely.
and that's that's really that's really what this season is supposed to be, right? I mean, the season,
Right.
whether it's family or even friends, right? It's really
Right.
if there's ever a time, and it should be all year, but if there's ever a time we
Right.
should re-emphasize, you know, that being with each other is the most important thing. This is probably the time. This is the time to do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great top 10 list, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you.
We're talking with Kim Polland. She is the queen of the top 10 lists. Matter of fact, you can steal that too, by the way, if you want to, and if you want to put that on. If you want the queen of top 10, tell Dawn Curtis that I said that she needs to pitch you as the queen of top 10 lists. Okay, you tell Dawn that I said to
Okay.
do that, because I've
Okay.
seen some of your other top 10 lists, and they're really, really they're great, and really they're thought provoking, and they're also practical. I mean, I think every one of the things that you went down on your list is so practical and makes so much sense. So I really, really, I love them. I love that top 10 list. So let's do, for a quick review, let's go through just the top, let's go through those top 10 lists from 10 back through, so that everybody could just get a summary of those, and I won't interrupt you. We'll just you just go 10 through 1, and give those out again.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead. Start number 10.
Okay. Okay. So create a guest list. Know how many people are coming. Number 9. Mark the date of everyone's arrival on a calendar on Planner. Set the reminders on your phone to keep you updated. Number 8. Go shopping for inexpensive gifts. If you're not certain what a family member may like, gift cards are always a great idea. Number 7. Check with family members on any food allergies, because this could ruin any family occasion. Number 6, prepare the rooms a few days before arrival with a small basket or holiday bag that you had brought while shopping for inexpensive gifts. Have it filled with welcome home leisure items like furry socks, or if you live in a warm climate, stock up on flip-flops. Let's see here. Or a relaxation pillow or a blanket for the plane ride home. Number 5, set up every room for each guest with an LED essential oil diffuser. Keep the room at its zen mode at all times. Let's see, what number are we at?
4.
4. Make sure you have tried to prepare a little of what everyone likes to eat. You wouldn't want to leave anyone out this holiday season. Number 3, make sure you have games or activities planned for your guests. As they stay with you, this will steer away from boredom. Board games for the little ones, pool, the gun range, for if it's open, cornhole, puzzles, things of that nature. Number 2, make sure every guest room and bathroom is prepared for guests. Toilet papers, stock up on shower gel, deodorant, shampoo. Make sure you have clean sheets on the bed. You have vacuumed, dusted, space in the closet and the drawers for their clothing, and empty the trash can. And number 1, the most important of the top 10 list. I want you to enjoy your family like it's your last. You never know when you will see them again, so cherish it like it's your last. And that's my top 10 list for this Christmas.
That's awesome. Right? I mean, is that, ladies and gentlemen, is that not awesome? Okay, listen, I would say this is a great list, not just at Christmas time. This is a great list anytime you have out-of-town guests. I would say that this list is practical year-round because you can have out-of-town guests, and I think this is I love that practicality of this list. We're talking with Kim Polland, and the queen of the top 10 list. She is also an author, and she has written a novel entitled I Never Thought It Could Have Happened, Book 1, The Sisterhood. And she is also working on a second novel, as well as working on a screenplay for the first one here. And Kim loves to bake. I can tell you this. She loves to bake goodies in the kitchen, and she loves to garden. She does missionary trips to Haiti, which is awesome. Thank you for doing that. She likes to go fishing, and she likes to learn different languages. And by the way, I do the same thing, but I'm stuck in Italian right now as the language that I have really focused on and tried to really learn well is one of the languages that I love to learn. And in Italian, we say Buon Natale, right, for Christmas, which means good nativity, right? Buon Natale. And so Buon Natale to you. I want to thank you for being on the show. You've been
thank you.
You've been a marvelous guest. And, I never know, how, a show like this is going to go. I really don't. But I told you before we started, I said, we're just going to be in my kitchen, and everybody's going to be gathered around. And you and I are just going to talk and as two friends. And I really feel like, even though we've never met each other, that I feel like we've just become two really great friends. And I hope that you will come on the show again and share another one of your top 10 lists with me in the future.
Oh, yes.
I would love to do that. And by the way, if you want to read more of Kim's writings, she has a blog entitled A New Day with Fibromyalgia with Kim Polland, and she's one of the happiest people in the world because she makes a choice to be happy. And that's so powerful, folks. And if you want to go and find out and learn more about her, it's www.kimfnp.com. That's Kim, KIMFNP.com. And she just does some wonderful writing. If people also want to can they get a hold of you? Can people get a hold of you in some way? Is there a way that they can do that? Or
yeah. Well, they can follow me on Twitter at Kimmy Polland.
Oh, at Kimmy Polland. Okay, cool. And is that Kimmy Polland?
Kimmi Polland.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, they can follow me there.
All right. Are you on Facebook too, or no?
Yes, they can follow me on Facebook too. They can follow me at Facebook at I Never Thought It Could Have Happened.
Okay. I never thought it
they
could
can follow me there.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic. Kim, will you stay on with me a little bit as I close the show?
I sure will. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Folks, that's our show for today. Listen, I can't thank Kim enough, and I know this is the holiday season, and so I would be remiss in not wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and enjoy your time with your family and your friends this holiday season, but do it every day because it's inspirational. And you know that I am one who believes in inspiration. I believe that we have the power to inspire others. And when we inspire others, they can in turn inspire other people as well. And if we're doing that every day, we can really make a huge change in our world if we choose to inspire. So inspire someone today. I will see you soon. I will talk to you after the holiday season. All right. So until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Ciao, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
A new direction, a brand new day. A new direction, things are gonna change. You can find the strength to go a different way, yeah. The time has come. Your dreams will take you places you have never been before. Find your passion, find your strength.